Hello and welcome to Bromance Talks. I'm Michael.
I'm John.
And I'm Bob.
Yeah.
Our special guest.
Yeah. Because usually we do this together. So, we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch again. Because we did that before. If you want to check that out, I'll not
No,
put
won't.
us... Yeah,
Stop lying to the people. You're not going to do it.
I'll try to.
We'll try to. A lot of technical issues this week. But this week we did watch the actual,
Nintendo Switch event.
Yes.
Which at the time of recording was last night.
Yes, we recorded me and Mike were watching it via the same time over PlayStation PSN.
Yeah.
Bob watched it just before you came over to record, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, last night I was trying to do Nightmare Mode on Samurai Warriors. Terrible idea.
Yeah, especially if you're underleveled.
I loved that game.
But the Switch...
Nice plug there, buddy.
Yeah, we can talk more about...
We'll talk about we'll do
You can watch us play it on
the channel.
On the channel. Look somewhere. I'm sure. I'll put a link, I think.
No, you won't.
Back to the Switch. I am so glad to be a Nintendo fan.
I have had a lot of mixed reviews with people about the Switch, the event last night. A lot of people were happy, but a lot of people were also angry about it. They thought the event was good.
Well, you know my stance on the event.
Yes.
And we will get to that at the end.
Yes.
John's wonderful fucking backstories to everything.
He was so mad and so happy at the same time.
All it took was one announcement to make me so happy. Nintendo in my eyes won once that announcement was made.
Yes. So let's see. How does it start off? They talk about the price point, right?
Yep.
First?
They talked about the price and the release date first.
Release date and price. So it's March 3rd,
all
2017, all around the world.
$299.99 in the U.S.
In the U.S., 29,980
yen. And then if you're in Europe, I'm sorry to tell
call
you
your
this.
retailer.
Yeah, Nintendo gave you a giant middle finger.
Nintendo doesn't know how much it costs in Europe.
Yeah, I guess because there's not a single currency there. Like you would think the euro, but they'd be like, not.
But a lot of people are backing out of that. I heard.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the euro, so
still have no idea how pounds work.
I think that's a good price point, at least.
Yeah, for what they're offering, it's got, I think, about a 230 gigabyte hard drive, or it's either 200 or 300, but it's not a very big hard drive itself.
It's not a huge hard drive, but let's be honest, Nintendo games don't seem to take up that much space.
No, but the way they're talking is they're encouraging apparently online purchases, because from what I keep hearing is
they're trying to break into the market like the other guys have done, like Sony has done, like Microsoft has done.
Yeah,
with downloadable games and online multiplayer, finally.
Yeah, because they just did that service too now, didn't they?
Yeah.
Basically their version of PSN and Microsoft Live, they just put that up, because I think that was the next point they brought up.
I feel like we should talk about that later. I think we should just keep to...
The console itself?
Yeah, until we go...
Console right now, so...
what do you think of the controller?
Oh my god.
Because they spent so long on that damn controller.
I do not... Goddamn that wizard. Just... That's all I kept saying for the entire event, but I'm not going to go into detail about him until the end.
There was also the other notion that you were talking about, which when we were watching it, you were talking about, and I agreed full-heartedly with you, which was the controller. In the Japanese hands, it looks like, oh, this fits perfectly fine, but in my gargantuan fucking hands, I was just like,
hands.
I was like, what the hell is this? It looks like it looks like a Big Mac. That's how big it looks. You could barely get your both hands around it to hit all the buttons.
Yeah. Not like the Whopper. Someone should pay us for these.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I mean, it looks cool. I like the design of it. I kind of think the 2-player part's going to be awkward.
Yeah, if it's already small in your hand, if it's small in our hands, and then you have to cut that in even more of a half, and it's not even half the length of a Wii remote.
A third.
Yeah, you're right. If it's a third,
because there's the center part which has the docking station,
actual docks,
and then the two sides. That's going to be even smaller.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's why I think they also have the Game Pro controller out there.
I'm hoping there's gonna be the option of connecting different controllers, just like the Wii remote. You could swap out for the Pro controller.
I'm just hoping the Pro controller's wireless. At this point, I feel like they should be able to have those
A lot
standard wireless.
The pictures had wires though, didn't they?
I haven't been able to check them out. I just saw that monstrous.
I think
price
at
tag.
least the ones that come with the Switch are. I think at least some of them are connected, so that they work off the power of the console itself.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see it though, because Nintendo has, like I said before in a couple other videos, been focused on being the family computer.
Yeah.
The console you can go to play with everyone around you.
Mm-hmm.
Where you don't have to go online to play with someone who has to have their own console and their own copy of the game.
Yeah.
That being said, though, them going online for the first time now is a good call and something they should have done with the Wii U.
Yeah,
if they were going to make that compete with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One like they wanted it to.
Yeah, I think that probably would have been better.
At the same time, we saw the Wii U had some trouble with internet.
Yeah.
Trying to connect it to Mike's house took a long time. Sometimes it didn't even work.
Yeah, I'm not that confident in Nintendo that they'll be able to pull off this service well for the first year.
Well, I'm hoping that's why it wasn't on the Wii U, was they were waiting until they had it.
I don't know. Nintendo's not really known for their internet.
Well, I think the smart thing that they did, though, is they said that from launch to, I think, September, it's
September
free.
or November, it's going to be free, yeah.
It's free. You can then go on it, do whatever you want.
Yeah, but here's the question, though. If it's going to be like a paid service like PlayStation Plus or Xbox One, what are my incentives? Because unless they're going to do stuff like PlayStation, like Sony and Microsoft does with, free games.
Free games or discounts on the online store, which might not be a bad deal. But I figure they'll probably hold off on that until it becomes a paid service.
Yeah, but if it goes paid service and you're going to tell me it's just glorified paid service so I can play online with people, no, I'm not going to pay you for that.
Yeah, I mean... why
that
do
makes
that?
sense.
I mean, I shouldn't have to pay you for online just to be able to play with people. Like, if you're going to force me to do this, then you better give me an incentive to want to do it.
I feel like they won't do that because Nintendo, again, like I said, has been focused on trying to get people to play with each other. Even in games that are sort of single player, like Mario Maker, the whole point was to A, make your own levels, and B, share them with the world. Yeah,
but Nintendo's also famous for, being a dick, too.
Yeah, they also, they take that motto 2 steps forward, 1 step back to heart, because even when they, what was it, they also announced that they were going to not region lock everything.
That was the smartest idea they had. I don't understand why they've been dicks about it up until this point.
Yeah. It's because they like to have that just, here's this Japanese exclusive, or here's this European exclusive, and then,
I don't understand that. I personally
outside of
this day and age.
Outside of Pokemon Go, it doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, we should talk more about the console itself. The screen, I hear, is about 6'12"? 6 inches, 6 feet, 12 inches, I believe.
6 feet, 12 inches?
Yeah, I know what I said.
Yeah, man, it's like as tall as Mike, and as thin as a rail.
Exactly.
But what a console that would be for $300 US.
I know,
You can go from one end of a,
I think it's supposed to be 6 inch or something. Or
yeah, like 6 inches,
like
probably.
a cent-shaped screen, which isn't that big.
It isn't, but you know what? I mean, for what you're going to probably do with it, it's like a tablet, so... I think I could live
I hope
with
it's
that.
not as fragile as a tablet, because if those sides on the... If those side joysticks don't slide into place just so right and you decide to pick it up...
Yeah.
That is a concern of mine. The small game looks adorable. It looks like a thing I'm going to be able to fit on the same entertainment center as the Xbox One and the PS4, but I'm a little worried about it falling, breaking.
But I think that's why they kept emphasizing that damn click. Every time they changed it, if you noticed, it clicked in. So I think that's why they have that emphasis on that click, is because what they're really trying to say to everybody is, you have to make sure this thing clicks in. If it doesn't click in, it could fall off and it could break. But
like the Wii Remote wrist strap. No, really. Use it.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to point out, though, that I think, as of this recording, some stuff has come to light. I believe we got the specs for it now. It's gonna run games at 1080 on the TVs. Like, that's apparently what they're aiming for, a natural resolution. And from what I understood, people were saying it's going to be cut down to a 720 HD resolution when you're on the actual, on-the-go mode.
Which is not that bad.
No, it's not.
No, it's like a decent YouTube video.
But my question is, like, if you're playing a game that runs at 60 frames a second, will that be able to, when you go into handheld mode, will that be able to compensate for a 60 frame per second game like Zelda or something? Or will the frame rate unfortunately have to drop?
It might not. I mean, Hyrule Warriors for handheld, I heard, was a lot slower than Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U.
It is. It kind of chugs along on the 3DS compared to...
but then it was a weird choice in my mind, since those games are really meant to be on a big computer so you can have big battles going on.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's usually about all they said for it in the press event. They didn't really go into super details about the console itself.
Yeah, there are still a lot of questions. I want to know if this is going to be able to play 3DS games.
I think
I don't think it's going to be that issue. I think they said no because 3DS has to have a touch.
It has to have its touchscreen, but it also, I think they want to make sure that they keep the 3DS on its market because they don't want to lose it to
Switch. I just saw the cartridge, and I mean, I figure that might be how the Switch games work. They're going to be cartridge
nice
sized.
To see, but
from what I understand is there's a peripheral they're making that's going to be a touch thing for the...
Like a touch pad, I guess?
I think so, but I have no desire to do that unless you can tell me I can play my Fire Emblem Fates and all that on my big screen
because
TV.
Just like you, me and my brother are hoping it's going to let us play some of the older games, except we're hoping we're going to be able to plug in 3DS or DS games into it.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to know, because no one's going to be able to answer that, is if the Wii U Virtual Console and all that stuff will be on the Switch, because I don't feel like that'd be a problem. For the Switch.
With that being said, there's 2 points I want to bring up, which will allow us to, I guess, transition to different things. The one point is, I don't like the release date, to be honest. The fact that it's in March 3rd, I think that's cool, but the problem with it comes up with is the things that are going to follow it, which is, it only has 2 releases on its launch, which is Zelda, and I think another one. I can't remember what the other one is, but... They said it's only 2 games on release. I think that's a problem. I think they could have held off a little bit longer and made sure that there was like a 3rd or a 4th game out there. And if they don't, at least tell us that, the backwards compatibility is going to work through the internet.
If you told me that, that's great, because then you can bring your back catalog and
because then
you can just invest in the new system.
Yeah,
they might be holding that off just to try and sell Switch games.
Or maybe that's what the service is going to be.
And they haven't talked about how much a Switch game is going to cost either.
Yeah, they haven't talked about a lot of stuff. I mean, they just sort of told you, here it is. I think everybody just assumes it's going to be the $60 that it, always is. But...
But if it's on a cartridge, it might be less. They might only charge you $50.
Maybe.
Are cartridges more expensive to make for than CDs?
They used to be, but they might have caught up now just because of the fact that...
Wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo, having made so many cartridges, would have a easy way of making cartridges for themselves, either quick or cheap.
I was also going to go with the fact that you're talking about back in the day when CDs were cheap, and nowadays you're talking Blu-rays and higher.
All right. Well, after that, the next part of this show, we run into the magical wizard, that lying ass.
The controller. The controller.
No. Let's talk about.
Well, that's what the next part was in the show. It was the controller. But the thing I was going to try to hit on was the actual games, what they showed off.
Yeah, we can do that because the controller is literally oh my god.
Oh, John.
Yeah, that was cool.
John got so mad at the guy showing off the controller.
I swear to God, I was watching the event like all of you, and then when we got to the part where they were doing the whole 1-2 click or 1-2 switch, where it was you stare down your enemy stuff, and I'm just thinking what? Where is the game? What is this? How do I know if I'm winning? What is this? What are you trying to tell me?
They kind of made a rock paper scissors game, but they didn't really explain it. They just sort of were here's this game. You're gonna like it. It's gonna be fun.
And then you find out it's rock paper scissors.
And then the worst
way to
part
go,
is,
Ultimate Tenkaichi.
And the worst part is they didn't show it off. They showed it off in a trailer, but you can do whatever the hell you want in trailers.
They just showed 2 people pretending
to
they were
cowboys,
pretending to be cowboys, and then they showed a slew of people pretending to be playing the game, but they didn't really explain what the game was.
They also didn't mention about how the fucking this sensor is going to work, because there's no mention of a sensor bar that comes in this pack.
I assume that it's just
built into the.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just assume that it's built into.
I would figure it would be built into the base, maybe kind of like how the PlayStation knows where your controller is.
Yeah.
For that rec room nobody uses.
Yeah.
I am sure.
But
I thought that was a cool idea.
It was,
but they could have probably implemented it better and told us what it was.
And the first reveal game they had for it, what is it, ARMS? I feel like that was the wrong game to show that off to, because
I feel like what they were doing was remember when the Wii came out? That game that came with it,
Wii Sports.
Wii Sports, yeah.
Let you box.
Everybody fucking loved Wii Sports.
Yeah.
And it was a free game,
but the boxing sucked. Because it wasn't realistic,
but
you could win by just waggle.
I think that's what they were trying to show you, that they have this kind of like, here's this set of games that you're going to be able to play that are sort of like Wii Sports, and you'll have fun and enjoy yourself. And
I guess I don't know. I wasn't sold on it as a person who enjoys fighting games. I was not interested at all to play. If we did a gamer back fight of it, yeah, I'd do it. I wouldn't mind. But if you're going to tell me to go out and buy it on my own, I was not intrigued enough with the idea and the premise. I was like,
it sounded cool because it was like, okay, you're gonna punch, but you can also basically shoot your punch.
I'm gonna give an apt description of what
Rocket
I did
punch,
last night.
spring punch, stretchy punch.
I'm gonna call it what I called it last night. It's literally they took Luffy's powers, but not the fun part of Luffy's powers.
Yeah,
like that's literally what it was to me. It was like you could have made this a One Piece game about Luffy, and I would have been like, okay, that's cool.
Well, maybe that's what they'll do.
Or Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic or something. I just feel like it's underwhelming. Like
it could have been better. I agree with you on that. I think that it could have been better.
Could have been better. They could have told us more. I walked away with a lot of questions.
Yeah, from what we got though, I think it was good enough.
Yeah, and then we leave the snapping wizard, and we'll go into the game announcements, of which there wasn't that many. If you look back on it.
There wasn't that many, and what we got, I think a lot of people saw coming. We got, Squid Kids 2. Squid Kids 2.
I'm a squid.
Zelda.
You're a squid, you're a quid, you're a squid. Zelda with voice acting.
With voice acting.
That's a big deal.
That is a
Link's
big
not
deal.
going to be voiced. Anyone who thinks that is probably crazy. But everyone else is going to be voiced.
Yep.
That makes sense, because I remember the last time they tried giving Link a voice, and...
Well, excuse me,
princess.
No,
they will never try that again.
I thought he was supposed to be an elf, not a snark monster.
Unless that's going to be the big surprise when the Zelda games come out. Like, no, we're actually going to try this again.
Oh dear God!
But it's voiced by Shigeru Miyamoto, so we know it's done right.
And then we got to see the new Mario game. What is it? Super Mario
Odyssey. Which seems cool because it's like the spiritual successor to Mario 64.
You mean Galaxy?
No, 64.
Why? I get more of a Galaxy vibe from it.
I don't know. A lot of people have said they feel more like it's 64. Like the people I talked to, they were like, yeah, like it feels like Nintendo 64 era Mario, that one with the 3D, and you ran around and jumped and did stuff. And
yeah, which made sense because in 64, the whole gimmick was it was 3 dimensions now. And they built off of that. Whereas Super Mario Galaxy, as fun as it was, there were a lot of gimmicks.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, ride this thing. Shoot through the star.
Yeah, but look at Odyssey. The gimmick is now the hat.
Yeah, that the hat is now your jumping thing.
I kind of like the... and they've done that before where they add a new power, but...
Yeah. I haven't done Mario in a while, so this to me is sort of like,
I'm actually surprised that they're not making that a launch title. I'm really surprised that there's not a Mario title.
It's probably going to be soon after. Shigeru?
No, I saw it. They said it's not coming out until the fall. So that's a big gap between
launch and Mario.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's within the launch window though, so I mean that kind of.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, launch. There's because the difference is it's launch and then launch window. Launch is when it comes out the first day, and then launch window is like the first year.
Yeah.
So
I was surprised though.
Gives them time to fix stuff if people say there's Switch things they're not liking.
Yeah, I was surprised though to see how much support they got from third-party developers, not just Japanese third-party developers, but actually some Western developers too.
Oh no, Nintendo has been really supportive of letting just about anyone put a game on the Nintendo console.
Yeah, but they usually suck when you put it on a Nintendo console.
Well, again, you get more rice in the open palm, but then you got a lot of rotten stuff jumping in there for the free ride.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you got Bayonetta 2 on there.
Yeah,
but then you got Farm Animals Racing.
Yeah, but I bring that more towards, like, ports. Any port to a Nintendo system from, like, a PlayStation or Xbox system is usually the worst, because it doesn't have the horsepower to support it. Like, Skyrim, I honestly don't know how that's going to run.
I don't think it is. Skyrim, I think, is going to be like a slightly, little bit more polished version of the last gen. I think that's what it's going to be.
But then at that point, why would you play that when you have
unless
the remastered?
Like Nintendo let the guys at Bayonetta use their characters for stuff, unless they're gonna have like Switch exclusive mods. No, like you can use Nintendo stuff. No, I don't. It'd be hard to police that. I'm just thinking of things like,
I don't know if they're
like
gonna
the
have
Bayonetta
mods.
people went up to Nintendo and said, "Hey, is it okay if we put Bayonetta in these skimpy Nintendo outfits?" They were like, "Yeah, but you can make them skimpier if you want."
Yeah.
I don't know.
So they might just be letting Bethesda have some goofy fun with their Switch version of Skyrim, and it's not going to be like a major hit. Like, it's not going to have the horsepower of the other consoles, but
oh yeah, it's definitely not.
I think the best thing for the third party support would have been is they should have had third party support make games for the Switch,
it sounds
not
like,
port them.
Well, it sounds like that's what they're going to do down the line, but at this point, I feel like this is another Wii U. Everyone says they're going to get on board. Everyone said it was awesome, and then look what happened. After a couple months, the sales sucked, and they were like, "Yeah, no, never mind." And they all third-party support was pretty much like pulled from the Wii U.
I think people are going to get on the Switch this time. And the only reason why I think that is because Zelda's on it, and that's the launch title.
Yeah, you're
Everybody wants Zelda. I think that's why they were pissed off at the Wii U's, because they didn't have Zelda. So...
Oh, not a good Zelda.
Not a good Zelda. Okay, what's the next?
Yeah, the Skyward Sword was
awful.
Game.
Yeah, there you go.
It looked nice.
As the only Zelda fan here, you better have said that.
I'm trying to think of what was the next set of games. Xenoblade 2.
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
I didn't play the first Xenoblade. I played Xenogears, the very first Xeno game ever made.
It looks pretty cool.
It does. A lot of people are upset with the generic anime look, but I'm just like, this could also be early, because they say it's coming out this year, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
I think that's just a placeholder.
And then after Xenoblade was
the game I frickin' called. I kept telling Mike it's gonna happen. They should do it. It made the most sense. And what happens? Fire Emblem Musou. Say it with me, everybody. Fire Emblem Warriors. They have an English logo for it. It's official. Fire Emblem Warriors.
Look.
Fire Emblem Warriors. Fire Emblem Warriors.
Look, John, I never said that it couldn't happen. I said I didn't see them doing another one, and now that they have, okay, you got it. You win.
Everyone. Come to my party. It's called the I Am Right Party and Mike was wrong party, because I called that shit.
My only thing that I think is a little worrying is just because I think it's Team Ninja's leading up on it.
From what I've been hearing, it sounds like Omega Force is involved in some way.
I'm sure they are, but they said like from what I've seen from the thing is I think it was Team Ninja was like the lead on it. So I could look it up, but.
No, we're fine.
We can figure that out.
This will be more discussion. Like, trust me.
So just shout at us in the comments.
Exactly.
Yes. So what I'll say is this: if Team Ninja is leading it, I have a little bit of reservations. But if Omega Force is leading it, then I'm not worried about a Warriors title in Omega Force's hands, because that's just their bread and butter.
Yeah,
that's all they do.
Then after that, we just got a bunch of new titles. We got that one from Square Enix. I forget what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. The 2D.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
It does. It reminds me of old school.
Yeah, it combines.
And it's done by the guys who did Bravely Default.
Yeah, it combines all the old school stuff plus all the new school stuff, which is just awesome.
Yeah,
you see a lot of that out of the independent developers. It's nice to see that.
Yeah. And I like how it's like 3D areas, but it's 2D like actual sprites and things like that.
I'm interested in that. I'm looking forward to that.
Like, yeah, I think that's what everybody thinks when they think of like 2.5D, because it's like, you know,
like Paper Mario.
Yeah, sort of like that, where you're in a 3D world, but you're in a 2D
plane of existence.
Yeah, everything's supposed to be.
Oh, now I think about it, that'd be more Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door than, say, Super Paper Mario, which wasn't a bad game, but...
Yeah, so I think Nintendo did well. I think they could have done a little better. Things here and there could have been slightly good.
Yeah, I think... And overall, if I had to give this a grade, I'd give it a B, a solid B. It wasn't bad. It was above average. It was more than I was expecting. That
yeah, but it did leave you with questions, and they didn't show a lot of details.
Left me wanting.
Yeah, the only reason I give it a B is because Fire
Which
Emblem,
might have been their...
That's the only reason.
Which might have been their plan, was to really give you a teaser release and leave you wanting for February if they tell you more stuff, or March when you buy the thing and find out, they went up on Olympus and found this.
As a consumer, I'm not going to invest in early adapting to this because there's literally nothing there for me.
Yeah.
I don't care. You guys know I don't care about Zelda. Breath of the Wild does look nice, and I hope it's a really good game. I really do.
Looks nice. Hope you have fun with it. If it wasn't a Zelda game, John would play it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like if they did a complete turnaround and trapped Mario on a deserted island and made him fight his way out.
You know, it'd be funny if Nintendo weren't pure dicks and try and monetize us. We could I wouldn't mind doing a Let's Play with Bob of like Breath of the Wild, like a fresh run through or something, or even a Zelda title.
Run through.
Or even like you have a Zelda game, don't you?
I got
for the Wii U.
Yeah, he's got to think the original one too.
Yeah, but we don't.
That's the virtual console.
I don't know. Stuff we'll talk about, but all in all, my grade B.
I got Ocarina of Time, and the only reason I beat that was because I was so mad at life.
I want to say maybe a B-, and that's just because it is above average. I think they did well. I think the problems that they do have is they don't have enough games for it. They didn't give you any real information about...
I'm hoping they'll give us more. I'm hoping this was more of a teaser, and I'm hoping they're going to use February to announce more games.
Well, I would hope so too, because, I mean, and I don't like that it's so soon. Like, I think they should have held off a little bit.
I also think...
Which might be why the service is free until
but I also...
almost the year ending, because they want to give themselves a cushion of time to fix it.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have another Wii problem. I think they're not going to have enough units for this. I don't think they've had enough time to build enough proper units to get them out in time, because it sounds like the pre-orders are already gone.
And that's why
Japan, I was at the store today, and they were saying that there were only 2 stores in almost the state that would let you order Switch stuff, because they had already
they also,
pre-ordered as much. The store had already sold out on pre-orders.
Well, at the event, they also said Japan doesn't get to start the pre-order until the 27th.
Yeah.
Because they said, they know that Japan's going to, wipe them out the instant that they put it up for sale. So, I think there's going to be problems with it. That's why I'm going to get a B-. I hope they prove me wrong, because honestly, I think this is a cool console. I think this is a great idea.
Cool console, a lot of cool concepts, not just in the console itself, but in the games they're showing us.
Yeah. So,
like we said, Fire Emblem Musou is a great concept.
Oh, I love it. And the fact that at the time of this recording, they've already stated that on January 18th, they're going to have a Fire Emblem event that Nintendo's hosting.
Yeah, Treehouse.
I will definitely be watching, regardless of whether I'm at my job or not.
Well, I might not watch it if I'm at work, but I am definitely going to either watch that or hear about it from John that night, because that is something I want to see.
Yep.
Not as hardcore Fire Emblem as John, but Awakening made me feel like a god.
And then Fate made you feel like...
Well, Fate made me feel more like a strategist. Like, okay, I can deal with this. I'm just going to grind for as long as it'll let me. But then I haven't gone very far in Birthright.
So, Bob, what would you give this grade-wise?
I'm caught between B+ and A- because... Again, they are showing that they have a lot of good ideas, which I was honestly a little worried that Nintendo was out of. As much as I like Nintendo, there was a lot of sameness in Wii U games, and a lot of gimmicks. Like, again, they were showing off sometimes more what the console could do than what the games could do, and sometimes the games were just gimmicks, like as much as I like Super Mario Galaxy, and how much the music rocks in that. Again, Nintendo never makes a game with bad music in it. But there were a lot of gimmicks. Just how you went about the world was more exciting than the worlds themselves.
Okay. Alright. So on average, I would say that Bromance gives it just a B.
Yeah, I would say that's a safe average.
Yeah, B. It might stretch into a B+ if your teacher is having a really nice day. The boyfriend finally proposed after 2 years of dragging his feet.
Yeah, that.
And that's why Bob is on the channel.
Exactly. All right, guys.
All right.
This is gonna do it for us.
Yeah, it's been a good time. We will see you around. We're probably gonna do this, I think, once a month or so.
We'll try and do this once a month.
Try and do this once a month as long as we have stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we don't want to just throw these up if there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, if we have
Watch the February video, just be 15 minutes of shouting about how great the Switch is going to be.
And then March is like, wow, we fucked up.
Just March is, it's exactly what we thought it would be.
April, everything's crashing and burning. What happened?
Tuesday, Wednesday, fall apart.
And then May, it's just a post-it note thumbnail, just like, no, we're all playing the Switch. Didn't make a video.
Exactly. All right, guys.
Catch you around.
Please feel free, if you like what you saw or what you're hearing, to check out our channel. Links to the description box will be our Facebook and our Twitter. I update that as much as I can with information I think you guys might like, and some just jokes and stuff I think that, would be entertaining. But also, please feel free to check out our playlists. We got a lot of games we've been playing, Dynasty Warriors, other stuff.
I'm gonna listen back to this and try to remember where I said I was gonna put two things in. I'll put the playlist in the description, hopefully.
I don't have faith in you in that regards.
Sometimes I forget.
Just throw that in, Mike. Just throw that in. He has more faith in the Nintendo Switch as of this moment than you.
Yep. 2017. John said it.
I'll remember that.
You can quote me.
I'll quote him.
All right, guys.
Well, thanks so much for listening, guys.
Yep. Have a good night, guys.
See you next time.